Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this series we're going to be going over Chiron in the houses, okay, Chiron in the houses, and in this video we're going to be talking about having Chiron in your third house, okay, having Chiron in your third house. And before we get into it, if you enjoy my readings, you certainly could book a reading with me. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com, and I'll certainly get back with you. So getting back into the video, okay, we're going over the Chiron series, and this video is Chiron in the third house, okay, having your Chiron in the third house. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer, so this is going to be where you have a permanent wound. However, you use this wound to heal yourself, okay? It's like your indicator of what you need to heal. And then also what you can heal in other people, okay? That's why it's called the wounded healer. And when having Chiron in your third house, the first thing I'm going to say is that this is a wound when it comes to your mind and communication, okay? This is the wound in the mind and in the communication, okay? Because this is the third house. The third house is ruled by Gemini. It's ruled by Mercury. It deals with our mind, okay? And our mind is how we communicate, okay? So this is how we process information, how we gather, memorize information, how we put two and two together, our logic. So the third house is where you're going to pick up skills, how you use your mind, how you use your brain, how you think logically. And it's also going to be how we communicate, because it all connects. Third house is the mind, so it's communication, how we communicate our thoughts, our minds, our processing, our thought processes, how we communicate them. So with having Chiron here, this is a wound. You have a wound here. Okay, there's a wound in your mind, there's a wound in your communication, there's a wound in these areas when you're using your mind, okay? And this is a strong wound, okay? This is a strong wound, and it can manifest in many ways, and we're going to get into it. One of the first ways that this Chiron in third house manifests is that there could be a fear of expressing yourself, okay? Through communication, afraid to speak and express yourself, okay? There is this fear, this nervousness, okay, because you have a wound around your communication, okay, your mind. So when it comes to expressing yourself, speaking, talking to people, there is fear, there's anxiety. These are people who don't like to speak. These are people who stay quiet. Okay, these are people who have a lot going in their mind that they would love to say, but they're scared. They're afraid of the judgment. They're afraid of being wrong. Okay, they are struggling with the pain and the wounds that came with when it came to expressing themselves. Okay, so there could be a huge fear, anxiety when it comes to speaking, expressing yourself, making logical sense, communicating. Okay, it can lead to stuff like stuttering. Okay, so stuttering, constantly getting your words mixed up, okay, you know, speaking and, you know, feeling fear, nervous, shaky voice, okay, stuttering, all those types of stuff. This could be a huge manifestation for Chiron in the third house, okay, because again, Chiron is a major wound. It's emotional. So you think about this every time you speak. It's an emotional thing. There's a pain there. Okay, so this is what's going to cause the stuttering. This can not only cause stuttering, but other different speech problems, like you know, speaking too quietly, having issues pronouncing words, okay, because you're just not used to using your words, okay, the volume in your voice, having issues projecting, you know, feeling a lump in your throat, you know, like the communication, speech skills, those things, because you're not practicing them, because you have fear, because you're afraid, a lot of your skills when it comes to speech are affected, and they do manifest in stuttering, they do manifest in low projection of the voice, they do manifest in a shaky voice, they do manifest in things such as illiteracy, having trouble reading. You know, it's that confidence that you don't have when it comes to using your mind and communicating, and it manifests in all those problems with speech, whether it be reading, stuttering, all these types of stuff. So definitely a manifestation when it comes to Chiron in the third house, but also something that could definitely be worked on. But there are many people who do have speech issues in many ways, and not saying there's many ways you can have this in your chart, but they could possibly have Chiron in the third house, you know. So definitely look into that. Also lead with Chiron in the 3rd house. This can also manifest into verbal abuse, okay? So we talked about how you're afraid to speak, insecurities with communication. These insecurities, this fear could have manifested through verbal abuse. So every time you speak, or people speaking to you calling you dumb, or people saying no, you can't talk, or using their words to abuse you, okay? Verbal abuse. So now you're not comfortable with speaking and expressing yourself because of the constant verbal abuse, using words and communication to abuse you, making you uncomfortable with communication. Okay, you could have been raised maybe in a family that used a lot of verbal abuse, okay? Gaslighted you a lot, made you second question a lot of things that you say anytime you're expressing yourself, speaking. Okay, that verbal abuse, okay, manifests, and it manifests in the sense that it puts a wound in your speech, puts a wound in your ability to communicate, okay, because of the constant verbal abuse. So verbal abuse is a big thing, okay? This is the wound. Again, Chiron being the wounded healer and 3rd house being communication. So this is a wound in communication. This could be lots of verbal abuse, abusing people with your speech verbally. So definitely a big thing, and these are painful on an emotional level. So all that verbal abuse makes you, kind of scared to express yourself, makes you see communication as a very challenging, painful process because of the negative communication going around you. This caused you wounds, okay? So you don't really want to speak because of all this negative experiences with speaking, with communicating, okay? So verbal abuse could be a huge manifestation that causes you not to be verbal. Also, not only just with communication we're talking about in the 3rd house, we're also talking about the mind and how we function. So I like to say that people with Chiron in the 3rd house can have a I'm not smart mentality, meaning because they had issues communicating, verbal abuse, whatever has manifested, they can create a mentality in their mind that they are not smart. All the verbal abuse, all the gaslighting, okay, all the obstacles when it comes to communicating, okay, and using your mind. This can affect you mentally and make you think, okay, maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm slow, maybe I'm stupid, because you've gotten pain when it comes to your speech, and maybe you have stuttering issues. Now you have the mentality that, okay, maybe I'm just dumb, when really you just have to heal yourself and face those wounds and emotions, those painful emotions when it comes to your speech and practice, okay? But because of that, because of the abuse you've went through, because of that pain when it comes to your mind, now you're thinking in the sense that, okay, I must be dumb, I must be not smart, and that manifests and makes it worse. So you speak a lot less, you express yourself a lot less, you don't talk because you have the mindset, that you're not smart. You can also adapt negative verbal thoughts from other people. So the verbal abuse that you got from other people, now you've adapted them in your own mind, and you have your own verbal bully in your own head. So it's when it comes to the 3rd house, it's more than just communicating. It's your mentality. It's how you think. It's how you process. Before we communicate, we think. And your thought processes when it comes to Chiron in the 3rd house can be so negative, so wounded that you have a negative mentality. You talk down on yourself. And that just makes it even harder to express yourself, because every time you're about to speak, you got this negative thought in your head that, oh, damn, what I'm about to say is dumb. Oh my God, what I'm about to say is dumb. Oh my God, Sam, what are you saying? That negative mindset. So 3rd house and Chiron can create a negative mindset, which is the root to how we communicate our mind. And then that's the reason why everything that comes out is always blocked, comes with obstacles, because we already have a negative mindset to begin with. So with Chiron in the 3rd house, it really is the epitome of mental health, having a positive mental mindset. That is really the cure, the core to the healing, because again, like I said, the mind comes before the communication, the thoughts comes before the communication. So if we can fix the way we think, we can fix the mindset, it'll be easier to communicate It'd be easier on our speech if we stop thinking we're dumb and understand that we just have a wound and that we can work through it. It'll be easier to express ourselves, okay? So it's very important, okay, with Chiron in the 3rd house to heal these wounds when it comes to our mind, our mentality, our speech. And there are 2 things I say that you have to do in order to heal these wounds. 2 things. This is my suggestions personally. The first thing is to practice speaking. Okay, I know you got a frog in your throat, you got a shaky, every time you speak you're like nervous, your voice sounds shaky, it sounds nasally, I don't know. Speak anyway. It's not going to sound strong when you first start speaking and expressing yourself. You're going to have those wounds, those negative thoughts, that hesitation. But speak anyway with the hesitation, with all the nerves, because what you're doing is you're practicing getting it out, and it's going to get easier and easier. Think of it like a muscle. You're working your muscle, you're working your speech muscle. So it's weak right now. You don't use it a lot, so the more you use it, the more confident you're going to be with it. So the first suggestion when it comes to Chiron 3rd house in order to heal it is practice expressing yourself, practice speaking, even with all the nerves, even with all the insecurities, even with the hiccup in your throat. Speak anyway. I don't care how weak you sound. It's going to get easier, and the more you practice it, the easier it's going to get. You're like training a muscle. All right. Second, okay, suggestion is to change your mindset. On top of practicing speaking and practicing just expressing yourself and getting that, working that muscle of self-expression, practice a positive mindset so that you already are starting off with energy that can help boost you. Again, Chiron in 3rd house is a negative mentality. It manifests as a wound in your mentality more than communication, your mentality, and that's how we start speaking. It's the mindset. So if we can start off with a positive mindset, we can give us positive affirmations. You know what, Sam? Yes, I know I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm still smart because I've witnessed myself making sense. Because Chiron in the 3rd house, it's emotional. It's not that you really are slow, or, you know, it's not that you really are slow. It's that you have a wound. So that's getting in the way of how you use your mind, and that's what you need to heal. So a positive mindset. I am smart. I just need more practice and I can do it. I just need to be patient with myself. Have those positive affirmations. I'm going to speak. I know I might stutter, but at least I spoke and I know I can get better. Have those positive mindset. Understand that you are not dumb. You just have a weakness that can be worked on. Talking to yourself in that way is going to allow you to feel better about yourself. You got to feel better about yourself. You can't think you're dumb. You're not dumb. You have a wound. That's not dumb. That's called being human and being sensitive. You heal that so that you can operate again. There's nothing wrong with you. So again, positive mindset and practice speech, practice self-expression. The 2 very important suggestions I would tell for people with Chiron in 3rd house in order to heal it, because the whole point of this placement is to heal it. Also, a couple other things with Chiron in the 3rd house is be mindful of accidents. Okay, so you could have manifest this pain through an accident. Maybe you were driving, maybe you were, you know, anything that comes, anything that deals with using the mind. So when we drive, when we operate, when we're functioning, all of that is mind use. So maybe when you're doing something, you're riding a bike or you're doing something and you go through a major accident, because accidents happen in the 3rd house, because the 3rd house is how we use our minds, and sometimes we mess up and we, you know, malfunction. It happens. But this could have been such a huge malfunction that it caused a wound. So this could be like major accidents, major mistakes, and this can cause a wound. Okay, so be mindful, be careful that accidents and mistakes that you made when it comes to using your mind and functioning could also be manifestations of this wound, and you got to heal from that. So those accidents that made you insecure when it comes to taking control and taking direction, which is all about using your mind, could make you insecure and make you think that you're not smart enough to take control. You're not smart enough to take direction. You're not smart enough to control and use your mind. So be mindful of accidents as well too, because that can manifest into a wound. I'm going to say this, Chiron 3rd house, you guys are smart. You guys have a lot to express and to say. And you guys are also very intuitive, because Chiron is very emotional, so it helps you understand pain. And this is how you can heal other people when it comes to their wounds, when it comes to their mind. You can help other people have a more positive mindset, speak positive affirmations to yourself, have positive thought processes, and be more confident in communicating and expressing themselves regardless of the pain and the wounds that they have. You can help heal other people once you heal yourself with this. So yes, that is Chiron in the 3rd house. Okay, a challenging placement, as all Chiron parts are, but if you express yourself and you have that positive mindset and you practice, you can heal yourself and heal this wound, okay? And there's so much that you want to say and express because you're so intuitive, so definitely push yourself. This is not you know, an end-all be-all type of situation with any Chiron placement. So for me, this placement, Chiron 3rd house, is the epitome of mental health. Mental health. A positive mental health will help you be more confident, help you be more comfortable in your self-expression, and understand that you are not dumb. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, you could book a reading with me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com, and I will certainly get back to you. Okay, I do birth natal chart readings as well as tarot, so definitely email me and we could go forward with that, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.